Get pucked.
Hello, welcome to the Get Pucked podcast. I don't know what episode this is. I'm terribly prepared.
This is ABC episode 4.
ABC episode 4, right out of the mouth of Vito there. I'm Dave Trentadui. That's Vito Risotto. That's Matt Mandel. And
Switched up, but it's all good.
What? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know what I mean.
And you butchered my family name, but it's okay.
And he wishes he was me. Go ahead, Dave.
Did I really? I butchered it? Oh, man. I'm the worst.
It's okay. You just named me after a plate of food, but it's okay.
Anyways, all right. Let's move on. We are brought to you, of course, by Cafe Victoria's. CafeVictorias.ca. You can catch it out there. Stop by for lunch anytime. 8600 Boulevard Langelier in St. Leonard. I highly recommend it. I've been perusing their menu, guys, and I mean, it looks delicious. Steak sandwiches, chicken sandwich, veal cutlet sandwich. It looks amazing. It seems as though they have all sorts of rib steak, veal liver, salmon. They have everything. So,
well, I have been going there and have eaten their food for over a decade.
Have you ever gotten an invite?
Woo!
Yeah, Matt's been there.
I've been there twice. Both times delicious.
Okay.
And they make fantastic food. It's really tasty, especially if you want to just go in for a quick bite. But during the week, if they check out their lunch specials, they can have roast beef, just like they could have homemade pasta, and Peter's making it right in the kitchen right there, and you could see him making his bolognese dishes. Or if you're into tripe, they'll have their tripe Thursdays.
Tripe Thursdays.
Cod and polenta on Fridays. They have so many different things. So check them out. They're really good. And Matt has mentioned in the first episode since they started sponsoring us, they Peter's been in the industry for well over 40 to 50 years. He used to own a reception hall, very successful, and it's a very good business, very family friendly, and very cool environment.
And we're going to be going there next Sunday, right? May 15th.
This is the plan. This is the plan. Yep.
We're recording there, right?
Exactly. We'll be recording a live episode. Anybody who wants to drop by, come on by and see us. We'll probably have some surprise guests or two. And yeah, come on down and join us. It'll be fun. And get some great food, man. I promise it's going to be good. Because I'm looking at their menu and I don't even know what I'm like. I think I might just order everything. Fried calamari. What is this? It looks delicious.
They got chicken wings. They got something that I've never tried before until I went there. And they recently added to the menu. It's fried avocados. It's delicious.
Interesting.
Fried avocados, and it's very, very different, very delicious. And if you're not in the mood of eating, guys, their coffee's fantastic, and they got a great selection on alcohol and beer.
Perfect. So stay tuned to our pages and to this YouTube channel. We'll have more for that, more information for you guys on that special episode on May 15th. Just mark it in your calendars. All right, guys. So we're a bit late, I guess you can say, but this will be our NHL playoff preview. We're gonna make some interesting picks here. We'll make picks for every single series, but we'll be making them. We promise. We put them out there before. You could look at our Twitter accounts, and we made all of our picks before this episode aired. We'll be sticking to those. With one caveat, we will be able to change one, since one to our liking. One series, we'll be able to change one of our picks. So, guys, can I go first?
Yes, you can.
All right, I'm pumped. So here we go. We'll start with Florida and Washington, a great series.
Got to be Florida, right? It's got to be. And how many games?
I don't think so.
Are you insane?
I am going for the Washington Capitals. To me, the Florida Panthers they're one of those flashy teams that just they're not ready for the playoffs. And I said this before the playoffs started. I don't trust them. Washington's a seasoned team. If they could get the goaltending, they could get it done. They have the wild card in Ovechkin and Backstrom. I usually, I always say predictions is a fool's game. It's stupid to predict anything, but if we're gonna predict,
especially if you're gonna pick Washington over Florida,
I go with my gut, and I'm telling you guys, my gut is right.
Is it? Don't you find Florida's a little?
No, I'm just joking. A little bit more than that. And I just think I like it. I like this matchup a lot for the Capitals. And yeah, so I got Washington in 7. It's going to be a hard-fought series. Florida is going to bounce back next year. They're going to kill it. They're going to probably finish first again, and they're going to see a bit of playoff success, but it's too early for them.
Don't you find Florida's a little reminiscent of the Capitals a few years back when they kept winning, coming out first place in the entire league, and then just failing in the first or second round?
Well, that's it. We've seen it time and time again. We've seen it. Even Tampa against Columbus, we just see it keep happening. Great teams, when they first get to the playoffs, they stumble a little bit. And we saw with Toronto, but Toronto seems to be a perennial thing. But I'm just saying, it seems to be, a thing that happens. And for me, that's why I'm going with Washington. Boys?
Florida in 6 for me. I honestly think that Florida's just they've got the roster to kind of keep moving forward. They've got that, they got the goaltending if need be. Even if it's Spencer Knight that comes in place of Bobrovsky, they seem to have all the pieces they need to be successful and beat the Capitals. I mean, when you look at the Caps, who's on their roster. You know exactly what's going to happen when you have Ovechkin in series or even keep moving forward into the playoffs. So for me, I'm going to go with Florida in 6.
I mean, at least that makes more sense. I got Florida at 5.
Florida
I think everything Dave said was insane. This is the President's Trophy winning team. They were dominant. They scored the most goals in a season. This is like a dynamo team. You have Bobrovsky, who's playing properly again, and they have that backup in Spencer Knight, who almost was playing equally as well for a long stretch of time there. I'm not 100% trusting in the goaltending from Washington, as much as you can always turn the tides with big goals from Ovechkin, and you got Backstrom on that team, and TJ Oshie, and all those boys. I mean, I just can't see how you can put money on Washington. You want to tell me in 6? I guess it's possible. I still think it's 5, even though they are now tied technically 1-1. I think Florida takes the next 3.
Wow, really?
Oh yeah.
Interesting. That's an interesting. Interesting selection. We'll move on to our next favorite series.
I feel like Dave's gonna go against every pick that every favorite or every person who's picked a specific team is gonna be the complete opposite.
I'm curious about this.
That is what ABC is all about, people.
I'm
that
curious
is what ABC is all about.
Look, I'm telling you, I have a good record in terms. I just won my hockey pool during the season. I was the champion. I'm pretty good usually at picking these things. So if you guys have the reverse picks of me, watch out. I don't think you guys are. You guys should be worried a little bit. All right, my next pick, you guys definitely don't have. I can tell you that. I'm going to go Toronto Maple Leafs in 6. I think this is the year they get it done.
6?
I saw them pull it off game 1 beautifully. Obviously, this pick was made before then, but I just think that this is their year. They're well built. They're a well built team. If they weren't called the Toronto Maple Leafs, if they were any other team, and you saw their stacked lineup, the way they kill penalties, most shorthanded goals. Most shorthanded goals all season. Fine, the goaltending's a little bit sketchy, but look, I just think it's the time, and Tampa must
massive in the playoffs.
I think Tampa must be it's not massive. We've seen goaltenders. Look, Anthony Niemi has a Stanley Cup. We've seen terrible goaltenders win cups. That's just the truth of it. I don't think goaltending it can be massive for bad teams with an extremely hot goaltender. I like J.S. Giguère, I like Cam Ward, I like Carey Price. That can happen, but with goal, like how many times has the Vezina Trophy winner usually won the cup? And I'd be interested in seeing.
Well, Tampa's won 2 now, and that's Vasilevsky.
Fine.
Before that, we had Holtby, right?
Had he won the Vezina that year?
No, he hadn't won the Vezina, but we're talking about good goalies. We're talking about good goalies to win a cup.
Marc-Andre Fleury.
And then
I'm telling you, man, guys.
Then we had Binnington, which.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm telling you, it happens all the time. Bad goaltenders, they go on a little bit of a run and they move on.
Yes, definitely. But I'm saying like stock money, like off the cuff there, to bet money on Jack Campbell over
to win a series. To win one series. When you have a guy like Austin Matthews, when you have a guy like Mitch Marner, when you have a guy like
the problem is you're not betting on Jack Campbell here. You're betting on the Toronto Maple Leafs getting out of the first round.
Yeah, I am, man. You gotta forget like these guys. they don't care as much as I know it's a crazy thought to say, but like it's not the same. I think they're going to get over it. They're going to get over the hump. It's going to happen at one point, right? And you're
honestly, I'll give you this, Dave.
10 years, it's going to happen at one point. So why not this year? I just think it. And look, Tampa is exhausted. They're going to be exhausted, man. They're burnt out. They've played way too much hockey, and not only like it hasn't been a regular 2 years. They played in a very short span. It's impossible to three-peat in almost any sport. It's incredibly harder in hockey.
But that's the drive. That's what gets them out. That's what pushes them past the exhaustion.
I don't think so.
You want it.
In 6.
I think you're crazy.
I think you're crazy.
All right. That's fun. Vito, who you got? Well, it's Tampa, but in how many?
Well, a part of me, okay, I want, as much as I dislike Tampa, I want Tampa to beat Toronto, but I'm getting this weird vibe that I feel like Toronto's going to take it this year. They're not the cup. I mean, they're going to beat Tampa for a lot of the reasons.
You literally just laughed at me for that.
Oh no, I'm still picking Tampa. I gotta go again. But I honestly, I'm just being honest. I think that Toronto actually has a strong chance to beat Tampa Bay this year. But I do think that Tampa will win, but they'll lose in the second round for all the reasons that they've explained. They're tired. They want 2 cups. They're not going to three-peat. So I'm going to give it to Tampa Bay in 7.
Okay.
Which makes a lot more sense.
Again, Matt, that makes sense.
It does. You're picking the right teams. I just think you're picking the wrong game. This is a Tampa Bay series in 6. Toronto came out in that first game, and they really wanted to knock everybody's socks off. I think there was a lot of pumped up, a lot of like, we got to come out the gate hard, fast like that. We got to explode that, and they did. And kudos to them. They absolutely did. Tampa came out incredibly flat also. So now you come back game 2, and bear in mind, again, we keep coming back to this. I made my Tampa pick in 6 prior to knowing all this stuff, but Tampa comes out in game 2 and like really pushes the play, and like it's a totally different series. Yes, they're tired, but both these teams are fighting for 2 different things, right? Toronto, even though a lot of these players that are on the team, some of them weren't even alive the last time they made it past the second round, right? Like, how much does it mean to them? How much of them are Toronto boys? You know what I mean? So, but they adopt that. The team inherits that as they keep going year after year. You're part of this team that hasn't moved past the first round since 2004. You want to be on the team that makes that happen. So that's what their motivation is. And you go to Tampa, like you said, Dave, the three-peat is near impossible in today's modern sports. And they're on the cusp of potentially doing it. They're a great team. Their bottom 6 changed a little bit. They're not as good as they were in the previous 2 years. I cop to that. But I think overall, firepower to firepower, you might give the edge ever so slightly to Toronto, but the firepower of Tampa Bay is right up there. I think the defense of Tampa Bay is better, and the goaltending without question is better. And I think that drive, that desire to do it, plus Toronto, still having the reservations of last year, the previous year, all those close game 7s almost out, that weighs.
If there's any year that I'm not laughing at Toronto, it's probably this year. I will say that because even though Tampa Bay won last game, Toronto was clawing back in that game.
And not only that, Vasilevsky made some key saves early on.
But that's what he's supposed to do, and you bet money on a guy like that.
He is a $9.5 million goalie in Tampa Bay, so that's like $12 million in Montreal.
But he stands up when it's important versus other guys who seem to crumble. Jack Campbell last year crumbled. I don't know if he does the full series or not, if they're going to bring in the other kid or whatever, but Vasilevsky now, I think, after losing a game, he's 17-0 in the following game or some crazy stuff.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean the dude comes up clutch.
I think a 953 save percentage in that span.
Yeah,
and that's the record.
So I gotta give it to Tampa Bay. Definitely.
I'm excited. What's the next matchup? Let's do this.
All right, so the next matchup is going to be Carolina-Boston. I have a feeling that I might be against you guys also on this. But because you guys go for the heart too much, okay? You guys let emotion play into your thing. I got Carolina in 6. I just think they're built better. I think that Carolina, had they not had goaltending woes, I think, health wasn't a factor, I think they could have really given a run for the money for the cup. But I think that they'll get over Boston. I think the Boston era, you're slowly seeing a wind down. I know they kind of. I'm not a big fan of Jeremy Swayman, and I think that the Marchand era, I think it's done for those guys. I think they're going to have to rebuild. So I'm going to go with Carolina in 6. That is my pick.
I hope you're ready for a quick answer because I'm going to call it Carolina is going to sweep Boston. So Carolina in.
Wow. 4. Okay, you surprised me.
If it was Boston a few years ago, maybe, but I'm going to be very surprised if in this series they even pull out a win. You already see Marchand's antics. They're already, Carolina's already getting in their head.
Well, that's why I put 6, right? Just because Boston has that X factor of they'll annoy the crap out of everybody enough to steal games, right?
I was thinking of going in 5, but I don't know. I think this is probably the end of the Boston era. You're going to see what happens with Bergeron after the season. Will he resign? Will he not? In all likelihood, he will. But again, very young goaltending. So I'm going Carolina in 4.
This might have to be my mulligan only because we're in the future now. But if I go back and put myself in the shoes that I was a couple days ago before the series started, I took Boston. I took Boston in 6.
In 6.
In 6. I think Boston is the tougher of the two teams. I think if they're able to play the Boston Bruins style of hockey, and especially with Swayman back in net, which I think he's going to be now as of Game 3, they stand a much better chance. The series is going back to Boston. They have the opportunity to win 2, and it becomes a best of 3. It's tough because I believe, as much as, yes, I'm not a fan of the team, Carolina is an incredibly stacked team. They're very, very good. And yet, like you said, the goaltender woes definitely played, and now it seems to be playing an even bigger factor in the playoffs now. They had their third string guy in. So I don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, Boston's way down. They're down 2-0 at this point. But I may mulligan this one, but I'm not sure because I made an even bigger goof on another one.
Well, the thing
I'm
is,
leave it.
It's what you said with Boston. Play the Boston way. Boston doesn't really have the roster of players that play the Boston way anymore. You could see they're even changing and they're going they're trending towards a different path or different direction.
But Boston, regardless, has an identity of being a hard-nosed team. Whether they have the Charas and the Luciches of old, no, I agree with you. They've changed, but they get in your face. Marchand scraps and hits everybody in their knees as they skate. Like, they just annoy you. They're very pesty, and I think that might get under the skin of the more skillful.
They're not the big bad
Carolina.
Bruins anymore. The biggest baddest thing about the Bruins is probably playing in that arena now, and it's the fans in that arena. Other than that, it's not the big bad Bruins anymore. Will they eventually get back to being the big bad Bruins? Yeah, probably. But right now, as it stands, they're not, and that's the thing with Boston.
I guess we'll see.
All right, so Matt, you and I have disagreed on every single pick, which I love.
Yes.
I absolutely love that. I mean, you're going to go 0-3 so far in your predictions, which is crazy.
Yeah, okay.
But I guess
really
I'll give the next series. We'll round out the Eastern Conference here. I got Pittsburgh in 6. I just think I don't know if you guys have the same. I'm assuming Vito made the
Vito
same
has the same.
Maybe in 4. I don't know what he picked, but I just think that it's too soon again for the Rangers. Pittsburgh have you can never count out Crosby for a playoff series, and this just seems like a series that Pittsburgh would win. I like Pittsburgh in this one. I'll go with 6.
Pittsburgh, obviously, for me. I'm gonna go in 7. Pretty much, Pittsburgh has has struggled against the Rangers during the regular season. Mm-hmm. I know the regular season and playoffs is just it's completely different animal in that sense. But I'm gonna give it to Pittsburgh anyways in 7, mainly because the players that are in Pittsburgh know what it's like to go through a grueling playoff series and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Shesterkin would be the reason why I think, from the Rangers standpoint, why it would even get to Game 7. The guy's just standing on his head. You could see this kid's talent and what he's like in terms of goaltending. So I'm going to give it to Pittsburgh in 7, and it's going to be Crosby doing what he has to do, and they're going to get to the next round, and we'll see how much energy they have after that.
It's interesting because Pittsburgh's goaltending situation is a mess, right? It's a disaster. But does it even matter? Does it really ever matter?
Yes, it matters.
Well, I'm going to say this: it doesn't matter as much as it used to, and that's because Pittsburgh has
incorrect.
Dude, Pittsburgh won a cup.
Pork and broccoli and
oh my God, Pittsburgh won a cup. When and with who? I wonder.
Matt Murray.
Yeah, Matt Murray, probably the worst.
Murray, who had an all-star season.
No, he was awful.
No, he didn't have an all-star season. He was playing behind an all-star team.
Yeah, that's
no, and he had fantastic numbers and was actually very good in those playoffs. Everybody likes to shit on him, but it's true. He had an amazing. He was so good that they let Marc-Andre Fleury walk. Basically, because of that playoffs. They wanted to
let Marc-Andre Fleury walk for years.
Anyways, I'm not getting into that.
They wanted to let Marc-Andre Fleury walk for salary.
I'm not getting into that. We're not talking about fucking Pittsburgh. Enough of them. New York in 6, baby. New York in 6.
Love it.
New York in 6.
When
you got a younger team, you got a hungry team. Enough Matt Murray. Get out of here, you. You got the more talented overall team. Yes, you have the Crosby X factor on the other side. Malkin, not to be forgotten either. These are great players. Great players. Gensel also. They're good. They're good. I just think when you look at the other team and you look at the New York Rangers, and yes, like Vito mentioned, I was going to mention too, they beat the hell out of them in the season. Yes, season's not playoffs, but it's a factor. It's in your head. You remember it. Now, in addition to that, you got Louis Domingue as your goalie. Not to take a shot at him, but he might be the goalie moving forward. I don't know how bad DeSmith is hurt, but you got Shesterkin, who is a Vezina winner this year, could be a Hart winner this year. You got a great Norris caliber defenseman. Oh, he won it in Adam Fox. You got your power up front with your Panarins. You got your 50 goal scorer, Krejci. Not Krejci.
Are you trying to convince us or yourself?
I'm telling you why you guys are so wrong. Give me New York at 6, baby.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So we actually have
the entire back. We're completely opposite.
Yeah.
I feel like the next round we're all gonna agree though. The next matchup.
Maybe. Probably more in line. Because the parity in the East is so much better than parity in the West. That's the difference.
Next, we'll start with probably the easiest series, and I don't know. I'm sure you guys will have the same pick. I got Colorado.
Nashville in 4.
No. I got Colorado in 4. I just never saw the matchup here. I don't think Nashville's a playoff team at all. I like Colorado. Obviously, they're a powerhouse. I just don't see any other way really. So for me, it was Colorado.
Finally, the right.
I'll make it short on this one. I agree. Maybe if Nashville still had UC Saros and he wasn't hurt, that they'd have a chance to squeeze one game out. But it's going to be a Colorado in 4. It's going to be another
4 as well. Okay.
Yeah.
I got Colorado in 5. I think Nashville's gonna get 1. But yeah, I wouldn't be shocked at 4.
You're too safe. It's only
I got a
6
sweep.
with you.
I got a sweep series. I'm going to tell you, even though I'm already wrong. But I'll tell you who I put that as a sweep.
So, in what scenario does Nashville win a game? I'm just curious.
I just think that it's very hard to sweep a team in the NHL. I think it's a difficult thing to do. And even a powerhouse could have an off night and the other team doesn't want to be shut out, then I think they eke one by. That's all. That's the only rationale that I have. But I would not be shocked if they swept them. It wouldn't be like, oh my God, I can't believe it.
Right. Okay. That's fair. Next, the next series we'll go to, just give me a second here so I can pull something up. We'll go Minnesota, St. Louis. That's one I think
that's
that
gonna
we
be a
might
tough
differ
one.
on. That's a weird series.
It really is.
St. Louis has the play. It seems like if you look at St. Louis's team, they have the team that's built for the playoffs. They have the playoff experience, obviously a few years removed from a cup. But I still went with Minnesota in this one. I got Minnesota in 7. There's something about them. The Fleury factor. Kaprizov is absolutely amazing. Kevin Fiala has like 7,000 points this season. I really, they impress me all the way around. Keep cross-checking people's ankles. I'm all for it. And let's go, baby. I like it. I got Minnesota in 7. I don't know what your picks are going to look like, but that's who I got.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be that's the only series I can't seem to fully lean one way or the other on. But I'm gonna have no choice here. They don't have pitch. You know what? I'll go with Mini. I think that's the series I know I'm gonna end up losing my streak. But I'm gonna go with Minnesota, and I'm only gonna go.
That's the one, eh?
I'm gonna go with Minnesota because of Marc-Andre Fleury.
And how many?
It's gonna go to 7.
We should have Vito go first. He's just taking what you do, Dave, and he's following along like you're a Pied Piper.
I'm gonna give it 7. You know, if St. Louis still had Pietrangelo, I'd probably say give the edge to St. Louis because there's nobody in Minnesota that's like Pietrangelo. But yeah, go with Mini on 7.
All right.
I got Mini in 7. I got Mini in 7 too.
You got Mini in 7 too?
I got Mini in 7 too. Yeah,
no.
I think it's the hardest.
St. Louis?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of St. Louis, but I think this is the year that Minnesota really is going to do a bit of a breakout. I could see them going far. I think, however, this first round is going to be incredibly hard for them. But I think they're going to eke them out in 7. I do.
Wow.
I'm just not confident in St. Louis's goaltending, even if they won a cup with him. It's just I don't know.
Is it him still in net, or isn't it? What's his face? It's Binnington they're going with. It's got to be Binnington, right? I'm
pretty sure it is him. Actually.
It's not Husso or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's actually very possible. I'll be very honest. I didn't watch the last game, so I didn't see who.
Not that it matters
there, but yeah, it was Ville Husso, and Minnesota crushed them 6-2.
Yeah, well, because he's an untested rookie or goalie,
and that's one of the reasons why I would also give the edge to Minnesota because it comes down to Marc-Andre Fleury for me. Marc-Andre Fleury has been known to steal a series. He's also let in some bad goals.
The first game Marc-Andre Fleury got, I think they lost. No.
Yes, they did. And the series is tied.
Yeah, so I don't thumb my nose at Cam Talbot personally.
Yeah, I mean, all right.
Well, the first game, St. Louis won 4-0.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's going to be a good series. I think you could go 7 games for sure, but we all got the same pick, so that was very boring. So let's move on from this series. We'll go to the next one, which I think will probably have the same very similar picks, and that's going to be Calgary. I got Calgary in 5. I just think that they're going to do it. They're going to pull it off. I think Calgary is a very strong contender with Daryl Sutter, with their goaltending, with Kachuk, Gaudreau. I mean, I just think that they're a very strong contender for the Stanley Cup final. I think that they could not, if anyone's going to knock off Colorado, it's going to be Calgary. So, yeah, that's my pick.
Correct again.
I've got no choice to pick Calgary because I also said they would win the Stanley Cup in a previous episode. So Calgary and 6 for me.
Yeah. This is my mulligan. I put Calgary to sweep. I put
Save
Calgary
your mulligan
for
the next for the.
Well, I put Calgary in 4 and they lost already. So I guess I'd have to change this to but staying true to form, I would switch it to Calgary in 5. I don't think they'll lose again, but I did initially put Calgary in 4.
Wow.
I think this is a complete mismatch, but somehow, some way, and point in fact to how I think that another team like Nashville can eke out a win. Dallas eked out a win. They got 1 win.
Interesting. Wow. Yeah. Okay, so like our Western Conference is very, very similar.
Yeah.
Or I'm interested about this next series. Give me a second to just draw something up here, but yeah. I got LA. In the next series. I don't know about you guys, but I just think that they are Phil Danault. To me, this screams. It just screams like that upset. We all every year there's one, and this screams it. Edmonton. I mean, it started off well, my prediction, to be honest, in game 1, but game 2, Edmonton kind of came back with a fury. But I just don't trust their goaltender, Mike Smith, Mikko Koskinen, whoever you want to throw out. I don't trust Edmonton's, goaltending. And then you have Kopitar and you have Danault up the middle to shut down McDavid and Draisaitl. I mean, I could see that happening. So I got LA in 6.
Give me LA in 5.
Come on.
You are so
crazy. We have the same picks.
But I've said it. I said the exact. Why do you think I was nodding? I mean, I had a conversation with a buddy of mine the other day, and I was saying LA's going to beat Edmonton this year because Edmonton's got too many holes in their roster. You can't just depend on McDavid and Draisaitl.
LA is so stacked. LA's got no holes whatsoever.
Well, look at what he mentioned, Danault, and he's right. Look at what Danault did to Austin Matthews and Marner and to every other team.
Austin Matthews is not Connor McDavid.
Shut your mouth.
You are
Let
so
me
foolish.
Let me finish. Then you had Kopitar, before Daniel got in the picture, I had to play his two-way game and be on the defensive side of things and whatnot. They have Jonathan Quick also this year, who's playing well. On top of that, you look, they have their defense. They got a lot of pieces. They got youth. They're a much more well-rounded team in comparison to the Edmonton Oilers. The Edmonton Oilers are 4 players and a 40-year-old goalie with one Darnell Nurse. That's all they are. It's not going to happen. They don't have the depth, and even if they somehow were to squeeze by and beat the LA Kings, they're done the next round. They just
but
don't
we're not
have
even
what it takes to
talking
go
about
that.
We don't care about the next round.
When it comes to this round, I'm giving it to LA in 5 games.
You are
done.
super, super incorrect. This is an Edmonton Oiler victory in 6. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy game. Obviously, they already lost one. I completely factored that in. I thought that LA is not the welcome mat to the second round like some other people were suggesting. But Connor McDavid is not Austin Matthews. Okay, Phil Deneau did something to Austin Matthews. He was able to stop Austin Matthews, who at that particular point in his game last year was all 100% full throttle offense. You can shut him down, you can annoy him, and it completely puts him off his game. I think Matthews' game has improved this year. I think he's a little bit better two-way. It would have been more interesting to see if Deneau can do the same thing. But Connor McDavid is pound for pound the best player in the NHL. And Phil Deneau, as good as he is, and he's better than most people give him credit for, and I think he flourished very well this year, Connor McDavid is going to put Philip Deneau in his back pocket. And then, even if Deneau can find and muster up the power to stop McDavid a little bit, you come right back with Draisaitl. Who's stopping him? You know what I mean? And you got that 1-2 punch there.
Anze Kopitar.
Okay.
Would stop.
You got the only question marks, in my opinion, there comes down to goaltending. Yes, I'm not a fan of the goaltenders in Edmonton at all.
Okay, who's got the better goalie between both teams?
I think they're both terrible. I think they're both trash, so it negates each other. I'm more confident that this is the year that Edmonton is going to push past their first round more so than any previous year.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's possible. That Evander Kane acquisition, too, as crazy as it was. I mean, he's playing fantastic for them, right? So,
yep.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it happening. I just thought if there was one series that, something would go awry for them, it would be this one, I think.
That's your one series? You think you're so much more of a lock and not shocking people with Washington over the President's Trophy winning, best scoring, oh my God, crazy Florida Panthers?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, look, if you want to put my pick is right there. So I'm just curious, like when the Panthers get to the next round, they're winning too because they're the President's Trophy, a crazy all-time best scorer, right?
They should be the odds-on favorite. Yes, in every round they play, they should be. I think Vegas odds will show you that they're the favorite in every series that they go.
You know that's okay, but the odds, that's not how it works in the NHL, man. When's the last time? The President's Trophy are not a lock to win the Stanley Cup.
You asked me, should they be the favorite next series? Yes, they should be.
The Florida Panthers are your pick to win the Cup, is what you're telling me.
I think they're going to go to the Cup. Yeah,
they're going to.
I don't know if they'll win. I think,
but they're raw President's Trophy best team ever, so they're going to win.
I think there's a good chance that they can win the Cup. Yes, I don't think they 100% will, but I think you'll see them there. Yeah.
Just like they won't 100% beat the Capitals. In fact, they'll 0% beat the Capitals because the Capitals are going to win.
That's so nuts.
That I don't agree with. I really don't think the Capitals are going to take this. But it would be interesting that if Florida and Tampa do win and they face each other, it's the Battle of the Floridas in the second round.
Is it that exciting? Like, is there actually rivalry there? Like, I
don't think so. I don't think so.
I will say this: the second round is very interesting depending on who wins the series and both the West Coast and the East Coast, because you could just tell it's going to get that much tougher.
It tickles me a little bit to think, because I honestly believe Florida's going to win this. It's not even a contest. Whether it's however many games, it doesn't matter. I think they're going to win. Let's say Toronto somehow pulls it out and they get through the 2-time defending champs. They got to go and meet the best team of this particular season and smash right into Florida. That's rough, man. as much as I like to rib on Toronto fans, that's rough. If you guys can get past that, I mean, you have a very good chance.
Well, if Calgary beats Dallas, which I think they will, and if Matt's selection of Edmonton beats LA, that Battle of Alberta right there, and we know that that's always chaotic.
That's going to be something to watch. That you might want to stay up for and watch, even if you're an East Coast a viewer. That's going to be crazy.
To me, it doesn't matter. Like I know a lot of people are like, oh, it sucks. They're facing Tampa in the first round. It's not right. But I mean, they're gonna have to go through them eventually, man. Like it doesn't matter to me. Like on a way to a cup, any team you're gonna have to face the best, or you're gonna have to face a team that beat the best, right? So you have to go through it. Doesn't matter if it's the first round or the third round. I mean, like the only reason it sucks for Toronto at this point is because it's in the first round, and it just adds to their storyline. Like if they lose, it's a legitimate loss, but it just adds to the storyline if they can't get out of the first round. That's the only reason for me.
Oh, but my God, the trolling that would happen this summer if they don't make it past the first round. I know they're going to say,
you know what?
Didn't make the playoffs.
I won't troll them. And as much I want to troll them, I like to troll on Toronto. I don't think I would, because frankly, if it were reversed, I mean, how going into the series, how like you already start behind the 8 ball. It's like, come on, we had such a great season, blah blah blah. They're the 2-time defending champs. How the hell are they under us in the season standings, and we got to run into them in the first round? You feel bad. You got to feel a little bad. I hope they still lose, but you got to feel a little bad.
Why would they feel? Would some of their fans feel bad if it was the Montreal Canadiens in their shoes? Absolutely not.
Okay, one last prediction for. Oh no, actually, let's do our mulligans. Okay, so I know. Let's put them up here. What's your mulligan? I know yours, Matt's going to be Calgary, right? What do you?
I have to. Yeah, I have to. They lost already, so give me Calgary in 5.
In 5, okay.
Yeah.
And Vito, what's your mulligan?
Maybe instead of LA in 5, it'd be LA in 6.
LA in 6, okay. I like it.
I'm not so sure about LA anymore, huh?
No, I'm still sure about LA. I'm just not sure in the number of games.
You boosted those games, though.
I already have the perfect. I think I'm perfect, so I'm not going to switch anything. I don't need a mulligan.
Wow.
Right? I don't need a mulligan. This is perfection on the screen, as you can see right here.
How many sweeps do you have? I got 2. You got 1 sweep.
I got one
series
sweep.
that's going to go. Okay.
I got 1 sweep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that's it. And one more question for you guys. One more prediction. Will the Canadiens select first overall?
Yes.
Matt?
No.
Okay. I got them as yes as well.
I hope so. I hope so. But I don't know, man.
I'll twist it a little bit. If they don't, and they have the second overall pick, I know a lot of people are saying they got to go get Cooley. I think they're going to go with Slafkovsky.
Okay. I think they're going to get the first overall pick.
I really hope so.
There's a piece of me inside that as a businessman, as a marketing guy, I don't think these things are as random as people think they are.
You think he's finally going to do it? You think?
The
age-old conspiracy.
If
the ball happens to be for the team that needs it the most, happens to be the team that he wants to pump up the most.
If it's a conspiracy thing, wouldn't it be best if it's Seattle that gets the first overall then?
No, not really, man. The draft's in Montreal. You need it. You need the Canadiens to do good. The NHL is best when the Canadiens are a good franchise. I don't know. Call it. I don't even think it's a conspiracy. I just think that it's good business.
It's good business. If that ever came out, man,
that's how
if they ever found out that this isn't truly random or odd based as
how
it
would
is,
you ever find out? You need one person to figure this out. You need one person to make that decision. One guy.
Listen, everything leaks at some point. At some point, somewhere, somebody's going to say something, and then they'll look into it. But until that day comes, put me in the please let it be first. I'd love to see it. However, there's something about it that just, as much as everybody's like, we have best odds, we did it, we tanked, we're the worst, yay, I feel like you're going to fall to like maybe a 2. Which is still great this year, but yeah.
All right. So check out these picks. Give us your picks in the comment section, or tweet us, or do whatever you got to do. Give us a follow. And don't forget to head down to Cafe Victoria's, because that place is awesome. And now I'm hungry just looking at their menu. So thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you there on May 15th. And that's it for us.